जाओ जाके इसके ऊपर यूज नहीं अब्यूज करके आओ, मतलब हल्दी गिराओ, आचार गिराओ, पापड़ गिराओ, चाय का स्टेन डालो, विनेगर डालो, जो चाहिए रगड़ लो. आई गेस गॉड हैड डिफरेंट प्लान्स लाइक ही ऑलवेज डज. आई एंडेड अप यही पत्थर सीमेंट.
पत्थर सीमेंट. Okay, we'll speak about that also.
Cozy cushion? No. Cozy cushion.
ये बंद है यार, ये म्यूजिक बंद है.
कुछ तो झोल है.
Welcome to another episode of KYAD, Know Your Architect/Designer. Today's episode is, I think it is going to be a little fun. I think not little fun, lot of fun, because we are shooting the episode with Girish Chatpar sir. He's also known as Gary, and we want to have a conversation with Gary, not with Girish Chatpar. I find him to be someone who's a glue who keeps things together, because I know him as a personality. He's always fun. I know him because there are a lot of things which happens on site, and he's the only person that I know. He takes things very casually, like हो गया ना, चल ठीक है, अभी क्या करना वो बता. So he's there on the couch today, and we have Varun sir. I think you know him already from the previous podcast. I'll start with asking him a simple question. How are you, sir?
Oh, absolutely fine and
Yeah?
rocking as usual. What you know me as. So yeah, I'm fit and fine.
Perfect.
I don't think I can get even more fitter. Than
Cool. Girish, I mean, this is where we start the conversation with. Wanted to understand from you. The first thing is, how was your childhood like? That's where we start.
Okay, childhood. I have a sister, a sibling. She is elder than me by 6 years.
Okay.
Father was an architect.
Okay.
And again from Academy of Architecture, Rachna Sansad only.
All right.
And my childhood was, rather than playing, outside with some friends or whatever, was because we were in Chembur and the bungalow community. There were not too
Right.
many kids around.
Okay.
So it was more focused towards playing with couple of friends only, the ones which were there around. Or then it was more exciting going to sites. So I guess that is where it kind of,
Okay.
wo keeda tabi se
कीड़ा
घुस गया अंदर, to go on to sites or whatever.
Okay.
I still remember my mother tells me this is, when I was about like 5 or 6 only.
Okay.
And a cousin's house was getting made about just a block away from my house. And the truck or the tempo guys at that time used to know my house, and they would arrive at my house, and I would sit with them and
Go to the site.
Okay.
go to the site. So yeah, that was probably what my childhood was all about. So
Okay.
playing, going on sites with dad, or with the other contractors or whatever, and then nailing a few hammers, breaking a few boards,
Yeah.
something like that.
Okay. Nice. So, why did you choose architecture then? How did it
So
happen?
yeah, I mean, I didn't choose architecture. I mean, none of this nepotism thing as such. Because honestly speaking, I never worked even a single day with my father.
Okay.
Okay.
So I mean, he was a different school of thought, and I was a very different school of thought. Like generally, it is with fathers and
Yeah,
sons.
Yeah.
And why architecture? Okay, I actually had applied for 4 different courses.
Okay.
One was architecture, because wo ghar ke aaju baaju, everything was over
Correct,
there only.
correct.
Okay.
The second was catering, because you can see I love to eat and I love to cook also.
Okay.
So, which I guess with God's grace, my daughter is doing her masters in bakery and pastry
Nice.
in Australia. So yeah,
Okay.
she's taken up that.
Okay.
And after that was automobile engineering,
Okay.
Okay.
which I'm very sure my son is going to take up very soon. So that is there. The fourth one, till today, my mom, dad, nobody in the house even understood what it was, which was basically forensic and ballistic science.
Okay.
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 You're very off. Very, yeah, you're thinking why? Like, because as one of the, like you said, the childhood or whatever. So one of the things I used to do is I used to go for shooting, as
Okay.
in your target practice shooting, air rifle range shoot, and those kind of things, and was nearly selected for the Maharashtra state level
Nice.
team
Okay.
also. And then how college and this and that keeps coming in between, and that kind of dropped. But Yeah, that is probably one of the reasons why. And then वो game plan कुछ और ही था. Is that you finish that and then you leave India and you go and work for Scotland Yard or CBI or one of those things. But I guess God had different plans, like He always does. So yeah, I ended up यही पत्थर cement.
Patthar cement, okay. We'll speak about that also. Okay. Then how did you? I mean, your college was how long? And
So college was okay. I entered Academy of Architecture in the year where they shifted from Prabhadevi to Lower Parel.
okay.
We put them in a municipal school, which was like a makeshift because the actual building was coming up and stuff like that.
Okay.
And that was like a crazy experience. And in between, you had the Mumbai riots and all. I mean, there was a time when we had to, four of us, we walked from Delhi Road till nearly Dadar or actually
Okay.
more towards King Circle.
These four of us are.
These four of us are, there's Parinita who's there. She's in the US as of now.
Okay.
Classmates all.
Okay.
There's Prathamesh who's there. He was working for JCPTL for Dinad, who's again a very, very dear friend.
Okay.
And the fourth one was Jitendra Lonkar.
Okay.
So yeah, all of us staying in Chembur.
Okay.
Okay. Chembur, Devnar, yeah, around Chembur Road.
Okay.
But अभी क्या करने का, बस नहीं आ रहा है, टैक्सी नहीं कूदते,
Walk
बोले चलो. So we started walking, and then in between we got this one police beat. Like क्या कर रहे हो? Then we told them we are from the college and showed the ID.
Yeah.
And then they're like, अच्छा चलो. Then they dropped us. We got them at Hind Mata. From Hind Mata they dropped us nearly at how do you say? Around, not exactly Sign, but a little before Sign only,
Okay.
Jain Society or whatever you want to
Okay.
call it. There, and then again we started walking, and then finally we reached home.
All right. All right. And then after college.
After college, I left college, and in fact, this area or wherever your showroom is very close to me. My very first job was outside at Famous Studio
Okay.
for a guy called Ajay Shah, who was a lot into not architecture but more into product designing and stuff like that.
Okay.
Which is again one of my passions. I mean, I keep doing it off and on and all. So I was working over there, and then the whole point was, चेंबूर हमारे टाइम पे गांव होता था यार.
Chembur is
वहाँ से इधर आने में आदमी का हालत खराब हो जाता है. Again going back home, and then one evening there was dinner at my place, and my brother-in-law is there, architect Bharat Shetty. He's also from academy.
Yeah.
So he's like, "Arey, how's your job going?" And I said, "Yeah, it is going fine or whatever." And then my mom, you know how moms are.
Yeah.
Mom was mom, and she's like, "Arey, itna dur jate ho." So he's like, "Arey, then why don't you work for me?" And
Yeah.
that time Bharat's office used to be in Chembur itself.
Okay.
Okay.
On 12th Road. So then I said, yeah, it is close by, why not? So then after working about 6-8 months over here, I shifted with Bharat, and then with Bharat got to do a lot of restaurants, hotels. I mean, because Shetty, so the Shetty
Okay.
Yeah.
connection as such. And then doing all these hoteliers' houses or whatever.
Okay.
And then somewhere my forte or niche was more into residential. So
Okay.
Nice.
that kind of started coming up, and I worked for Bharat for nearly 4 years.
Oh.
Then started doing my
Own
projects
practice,
side
yeah.
by side, and then it came to a point where it was very difficult to balance in
Both,
two
yeah.
boats as such. So then I had a word with him, and he said, "It's okay. I mean, if you are having enough work, whatever, then it's perfectly fine, and you can move on."
Okay.
Something like that. And then, it's been 98, I passed out, and we are sitting in 2024.
Okay.
So,
For
what
15.
is it, nearly 25 years?
25 years.
Yeah.
more or less.
GCDS came by, first I used to practice under my name only as Girish Chatpar. And then, slowly and slowly we decided, or not exactly decided, we came to the terms that we are actually not a person, but it is a
Right.
team.
Yeah.
And at the same time, it is a design studio, however you want to put it.
Correct.
Right.
So it could be something which is like, okay, it's a Girish Chatpar who is heading it,
Correct.
Right.
and you have the whole team and the studio
All
as
right.
such. I mean, even today, if you'll come to my office, we have only girls in our staff.
Okay.
We don't employ boys
Okay.
because boys are hardly working. My girls are hard working and they're very sincere and loyal. And somewhere, the fact that I'm a Virgo, so I understand
Right.
women much better.
Okay.
Right.
And we don't even call it an office or a studio anymore. It's more
Okay.
like a house or a family, and
I
it's
think
like
it's-
my
okay.
daughters who come to work with me.
Nice.
That's
okay, nice.
I wouldn't even say for me, but with me.
With me.
Nice. So how long have you been in that same place?
I was born there, so it's a bungalow that I have in Chembur.
Yeah.
Fortunate enough to have a bungalow in Chembur.
Yeah, I think that's one. I think Mumbai and
Mumbai, it's a
Bangalore
big-
and Chembur. तीन word साथ में कोई नहीं लेता है, मुश्किल है.
नहीं वही है तो I had this grown up there. Dad had an office
Yeah.
Okay.
in the house only. So somewhere that that culture or whatever we had seen, and I also kind of got into the same thing. And
Yeah.
then, it's been going on since that place. I mean, I've not even bought a. So I ever before I was born, and if you go to see the exact time that my grandfather bought that plot, and we made the bungalow, whatever initial, I'm talking about 1952.
Oh wow,
Nice.
that's more than what.
Yeah.
I mean,
73
and the
years.
whole setup is very convenient, so that you have one less place to go. Otherwise, I know my friends who have to
Travel.
get up from the house, go to an office,
Yeah.
then from there move out to the side, then go back to the office, and so I just have to come back one place. I mean, it's one of those नीचे पान की दुकान ऊपर गोरी का दुकान. So yeah, it works perfectly fine. I mean, all my friends know that he is crazy, even like how you know is that I'm quite crazy. So yeah, I get up sometimes at 3 or 4 in the morning, and trust me, that's the best time to work, or your main creativity comes out. I just take a shower and just go up to the office and start working.
Okay.
Nice.
So there's no, time limit, whatever, and then you're not answerable to anybody.
The reason I'm asking this question because your home, I know that your office has been there for
Yeah.
a long period. You're staying there for a very long period of
Oh,
time.
I have influenced a lot of people to do that.
Yeah.
Rahul Mistry, who's a very dear friend, he's more like a son rather, I should say.
Yeah.
So he was like, sorry, aapka setup best hai. I mean, then we, got into, we got into hunting a place for him, and then he also has a place now in Chembur where it's a
Yeah.
bungalow, and his studio is also open.
Nice.
Eclair is also set up over
Nice.
there. And all.
But when you have multiple, because you function in multiple countries also.
Yes.
Yeah. So what happens is if you have this setup, and it's very convenient for you, right? And then
Exactly.
when you're staying somewhere and then you have to travel somewhere, and then that disconnect.
Exactly.
Is it comfortable for you when that kind of situation
Yeah,
happens?
it is quite comfortable, and how the whole point is that it has been there for so many years.
Yeah.
I mean, Dad had it at home, so my mom, my kids, my wife, they all are accustomed to this.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're seeing
कभी
this.
भी कोई client आ जाएगा, कभी भी कोई
No, but when you
contractor आ
travel,
जाएगा. So
it
when
becomes
I travel-
difficult, right? Because
No, in
आपका service apartment कहीं होगा या आपका घर कहीं
No,
होगा.
I'll tell you what happens is why this also works much better is
Yeah.
because then for the coordination or something, the girls are still there in the office, which is at home only.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anything I want to know, if I can't get in touch with them, I can definitely get in touch with the wife and ask her कि अरे वो किधर है? बोले अभी गई है site पे, whatever, I mean, she comes back, give me a call or whatever.
Nice.
And and these girls, I mean, when we were working, I mean, whenever we work abroad or something like that, and if my flight is tomorrow in the afternoon or whatever, we sit up till late and finish up things, because when you work there, shop drawings is everything.
Yeah.
Right.
Here, of course, you can go on site
And do some.
once a week or twice a week.
Yeah.
But there it becomes a little difficult for you to go every now and then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course, when multiple projects, we keep.
How did you start venturing into different countries? The reason I'm asking this question is because the podcast, we have all the dynamics of who's listening to the whole podcast. And there are a lot of people who want to start something of their own. And this
Oh, yeah, trust me, there are a lot. I mean, I'll not take the names. There are these youngsters. I mean, I've been teaching since 10 years now
yeah.
Okay.
in the industry, at Rachna's only, in interior design college, which is SID.
Yeah.
And I have so many of my students, so many colleagues, co-contemporaries, best friends who want to venture, and the very first phone call they do is, अरे भाई अभी तेरे इधर गांव में जाने का, दुबई क्या करने का, किधर क्या, and then it feels very nice, and
Yeah.
I mean anybody and everybody will vouch for that I'm not I'm a very open book, yeah.
I know. Yeah.
Whatever you
Agreed.
want, just ask. वो मिल
But
जाएगा.
how did it happen to you? I know your attitude is, I don't know if you remember, you told me at once they एक step ले लेगा ना फिर बाकी का हो जाता.
That's
This is
exactly-
exactly what you
this
told
is-
me, and I
yeah,
stayed,
yeah,
it
yeah.
just stayed with
So
me.
I have not changed from that. I mean, you know me. Zaid for a very long
very
time
long,
now.
yeah,
I mean, from Dubai,
yeah,
from Bombay,
yeah,
from
yeah,
wherever.
yeah.
So, you know, I've been like this the way I am. So, I mean, see, money comes, money goes. Is the kind of people you have in your life
Yeah.
that
Right.
make a big difference.
Agreed.
You know,
Agreed.
so it is that way. And like you are asking me, so I never thought about it. It was just that I did a project for somebody over here.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, in Pali Hill, and his friend came in from Dubai, and he saw his house, and he was like, "Dude, this is something which even in Dubai people are aspiring to do, and you've already got it done here.
Okay.
Tell me who's this guy who's done it?"
Okay.
Okay.
And what I'm talking about is nearly 23 years back.
Okay.
23,
Okay.
24 years, 23 years.
Almost in 2000s.
Yeah, almost in 2000s. Yeah, and then my name was given, and the gentleman whose house I had done is again very close. See, all my clients have now become more like family
Friends of
members.
family,
Man, trust me, we become as good as a family doctor once
Right.
you have the rapport with a family. For example, there is a family, a Gujarati family, which has been associated with me ever since I started out on my own.
Okay.
And again, that same timeline of 22, 23 years.
Yeah.
Right.
So in 22 or 23 years, I've done nearly 21 different projects for that one
Same
family.
family.
Okay.
Nice.
So, you know, like for the brother, then you do it for
For
the
someone else in the
Bhabi's
family.
brother, or,
Right.
you know, within the circle
Family,
or the
yes.
family.
Nice.
So, अब कुछ तो correct किया होगा kind of a thing.
वो
Or
क्या
like I told you,
correct है?
एक step
वो
करो.
क्या
step
correct
सब हो
है?
जाएगा.
We want to know that secret ingredient.
There is no correct. There is no shortcut for hard work.
Yeah.
That is
Right.
there. So you just can't
Because you make it look
cut
easy.
it.
This is the reason I want
come
to
as very
understand.
casual,
Yeah,
so-
yeah, easy.
Yeah, yeah. See, if you will keep crying, "अरे मेरी life बहुत खराब हो गई है, अरे कितना खराब," that's not going to help. So make it good. So my logic is, I mean, this life is like a caravan. Meet the kind of people,
Really.
be happy to them. See, each and every person in their day-to-day life is fighting a different battle,
Right.
which you and I don't know about.
Yeah,
And
right.
then, you know, once you meet that person, may it even be for those 2 minutes,
Yeah.
see to it that you have a nice impression on that person, or, you know, you greet or
Treat
address
them
to that
properly.
person in a nice
Nice.
way.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, just keep on working, guys. And you never know. I mean, he knows everything. So you never know when an opportunity
Okay.
strikes. I mean, true to that, I always tell people, हम तो पान की दुकान से लेके एयरपोर्ट तक बनाते हैं,
Hmm.
which is very true. So we've done something which is, see, काम कभी भी छोटा बड़ा नहीं
Right.
होता है. So you just go for it, do it, and you never know. Never say no for anything. So do it in your full capacity.
But are you able to do that still?
Oh yes, very much.
Not saying no?
No, I don't say no to anybody.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't absolutely, I mean, God's grace, I don't need to say. I take only that much food on my plate that I can chew.
Okay.
Okay.
Of course, I can chew a lot. But that said and done. But yeah, I mean, keep doing. In fact, a lot of this international work has made me realize that, and then I have made my entire team realize that any of my contractors, now they know the fact that even if, you know, let's say a carpenter for a house, his bill is going to be 10 lakhs.
Right.
It's going to be 10 lakhs whether he finishes it in 3 months, or it's going to be 10 lakhs whether he finishes in 10 months.
Hmm.
Okay.
But for 10 months, he has to pay
Spend
out
more,
of his
yeah.
pocket to
Yeah.
his labor.
For the rest of
And
the
in
time,
the
yes.
3 months, he'll make some money in the
Some money, right.
process.
Agreed.
Again, over the years, after doing all these projects, realized one thing, that any project, maybe a 3-bedroom hall kitchen to a 6-bedroom hall kitchen,
Right.
the timeline should not go beyond 4 to 6 months.
That's it.
Okay.
We have to wind up, finish it off, and hand it over.
That's a good timeline. Too.
That is a very good timeline, and you see to it that you make the ends meet and you do it. I mean, in fact, in Khar, there was a project where, unfortunately, the client was conned into by another friend whose house he was on rent on,
Okay.
to give up the flat in 90 days or his some 50 lakhs as the deposit, because he was paying 5 lakh rupees a month
Okay.
rent
Okay.
at,
Wow.
you know, around Taj Land's End to stay in that particular apartment.
Okay.
And his 50 lakhs would be, that guy had
Forfeit.
put a clause where even if he defaults by a day, his contract gets renewed again and these 50 lakhs are
Forfeited.
forfeited.
Okay.
So we finished that particular house, which is like a 4-bedroom hall kitchen, about 2,000 something odd, in 83 days.
Oh.
And again, like I always say, God was kind and we got that opportunity. That this was the 3rd floor. The 2nd floor was the society gym and all that.
Okay.
So nobody is over there. And 3rd floor ke upar ka 4th floor was an investor again from Dubai who was not staying there. He had just bought the house. So no noise. वो 3 से 4 बंद करो. आज बास हो रही है. None of that was there, in the whole process as such. So yeah, I mean, so timeline is very important. Do a fast selection.
Yeah.
Again, there are a couple of things my kids do refer to it, or they write it as quotes or whatever. Is a budget should never dictate design.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, like just because you come and tell me कि मेरा budget है, I want to finish it in like 20-30 lakhs only.
Right.
So I cannot tell you नहीं होएगा, हम तो Italian marble ही लगाएगा, veneer नहीं. That is my shortcoming.
Right.
If I cannot cater to him in that budget,
Right.
so my design cannot be dictated by
Nice.
Budget constraints.
budget. Yeah. Just because, see, करोड़ रुपया खर्चा करके घर करोड़ रुपए का दिखे means it is something which is very normal.
Yeah.
But if you spend 20-30 lakhs and it looks like crore, means then you made it large. As simple as that. So it's a simple funda as such.
Okay.
So I'm go with the flow, guys. I mean, there's no mantra, no shortcut,
Yeah.
no easy way out to hard work.
Okay.
Time आएगा.
Apna time aayega. So your practice has been there for last, I think, 25 years now. So you've seen
Yes.
the entire spectrum of people that has been working with you, right? So the Gen Zs, I think millennials.
We've got all of them.
Yeah.
We've got the Bahus, we've got the Saas, we've got the Devrani Jethanis, we have the brothers, we have the kids. Oh, there are too many. I mean, you'll have to do like 3 or 4 seasons
Really?
of this. So, yeah, I mean, just the other day, another good friend is there. He's into lighting business. And one of his social media girls just asked me, what was the most funniest request
Yeah.
you have got? So I'll just repeat that also and I'll tell you 1 or 2 more is
Yeah.
discussing industrialist, Thane, big bungalow, whatever, And we are discussing his son's toilet and he very casually tells me, sir, एक चीज बताना भूल गए आपको. I said, क्या? He said, सर मेरे बेटे को constipation है. I'm like, भाई मैं तो डॉक्टर नहीं है इसमें, मैं क्या करेगा? He's like, नहीं सर कुछ तो करके दो, बेचारा 2-2.5 घंटा उधर ही बिताता है. I mean, it's painful for him. So I said, okay. And then the solution we had is right across his WC. We encased, we made a small niche and we encased a 32-inch TV there and connected it with a PlayStation.
Okay.
So this dude is uploading the game and he's downloading at the same time. See, I mean, many weird this thing. I mean, again, the Devrani Jethani, which I'm saying. So it so happened that, 2 buildings adjacent to each other.
Okay.
So we are doing both these brothers' houses in that. And we know that the Murat day is going to be the same. And we're going to have like 400, 500 odd people coming in.
Right.
So your constant challenge, that is more challenging, that both the houses should not have your signature or a chap. A lot of people in our industry have a signature or a style of working. Okay, 3 walls are red and blue means it is this particular person.
Right.
There's all Italian marble everywhere means it is this particular person. I mean, so on and so forth. So here it becomes challenging because 400 people are coming, and I personally believe is that the house is a reflection of the people who stay in it.
Okay.
Right.
Abhi, it's not okay. I'm a designer. Nahi, abhi lal famous hai. Lal hi lagao. I get irritated in the morning. I get up and why do you want me to have a bad day?
Yeah.
I'm only a service provider.
Yeah.
Sir, आपको internet नहीं चाहिए? No problem. Incoming free.
Incoming.
So it's a simple logic as such.
Right.
So again, over there the challenge was, or rather what played very well for us is, so कभी-कभी ये कमीनापन करना पड़ता है. That one is not bothered about what is happening in her house. She wants to know what is happening in the other one's house.
Okay.
And the other one is not bothered about what is happening in her house. And she only wants to know what the Jani is doing.
Yeah.
And then we very smartly played a very cool game. and we did what we wanted to do for
Both
those
the
people, which
houses.
was their identity as a
Yeah.
couple,
Right.
and we did what we wanted to do for the other one. And it all came by
Certainly.
very nicely. And on that day where 450 people or 500 people came in, none of them could say that it has been designed by the
Same person.
same person. And
Nice.
both of them are like very happy in the house or whatever.
Nice.
We've had many funny incidences also. Is a client, calls me up and she says, बाकी सबका पैसा देगा, तुम्हारे प्लम्बर का पैसा नहीं देगा. I'm like, why? I mean, it's been 15-20 days, you're staying in the house, everything is fine.
Right.
क्या हुआ? नहीं, तुम कल सुबह आ जाओ, मैं बताता हूँ. So I go there, and then I go and see the taps, which were rose gold,
Right.
have all become black.
Okay.
They had spots on them.
Spots.
Okay.
I went with my civil guy also, with my plumber also. So he's like, "Oh, ऐसा सब हो गया है, and I'm not paying him. He has spoiled it." Said, "Very good." I said, "Can I know who's been 15-20 days you guys have come in? Who's cleaning the house?" यही हमारी शांता मौसी. I said, "I request you, both of you all don't say anything, husband wife. Let me have a word with Shanta bhai." नहीं, हमने कुछ नहीं यूज़ किया. आपने बोला खाली लाइजॉल लगाना, ये वो. I said, "No worries." शांता भाई came. I told her, "शांता भाई क्या बाथरूम साफ किया है, जबरदस्त." I gave a टपली to my civil guy. I said, देखो ऐसा साफ करने का रहता है. I removed $1,000 and gave it to शांता भाई. अरे शांता भाई, ये बख्शीश रखो, इसको जरा सिखाओ तो कैसे करता है. हाँ, सब सिखाने का है. अब भी आती हूँ. She went in the kitchen, somewhere in a storeroom. She got a nice bottle of acid. You put it everywhere, and we can see the fumes are rising and screwing up all that PVD coating. And then the client couldn't say anything. I mean, they were all speechless. We have crazy.
Okay. Speaking about your work, I mean, design philosophy is one thing that we discuss about, I think, on the podcast.
Sure.
There are two aspects of it. One is being versatile, and one is having one niche that you've carved for yourself.
Again, I would say I'm neither in the versatile nor in the niche. Because again, the niche is again going with that one signature or, one styling or pattern.
Correct.
My personal, this thing would be like a minimalistic, less is more kind of a thing.
Okay.
But again, like I said, I do houses for my clients.
Right.
And I have to cater to their requirements and demands.
Agreed.
So if somebody wants it a little loud or, a little
Jazzy.
garish, jazzy, or, the Luxe or the oomph factor. So, yalla habibi, come to Dubai, dena padta hai. You can't get away from that as such. So yeah, I mean, so this is exactly why I would say I don't have a niche, or like I only do luxury,
Right.
or I don't do, very neat, clean, straight line.
What does you like as a person?
That is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Very minimalistic,
Yeah.
Japandi, very clean lines.
In the long run, what happens to a person is what you like as his.
I think that is exactly why. Because see, life is always, bolo ya design. It is always a constant change.
Correct.
It cannot be stagnant.
Yeah.
Again, with time or age, I mean, what you probably liked about 10 years back is not what you liking today.
Right.
Or not what you would like 10 years down the line as well.
Agreed.
So it totally depends on what time frame do you have in mind. To this you can even add is where you are in your lifespan,
Right.
Are you in your struggle period? Then you are like, oh man, Mukesh bhai has a Bentley, I need to buy a Bentley.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, at the same time, you might have somebody who is very content. He's like, a car takes you from A to B. So, I mean, it can be a Maruti or a Bentley. How does it make a difference?
Correct.
So, I mean, something like that. So, as you keep growing with time, things change, your choices change.
Okay. So, I think the correct answer is that you can be versatile in life.
Oh, I can be whatever you want.
Yeah.
At your service, ma'am.
And budget is also not the issue.
Oh, never an issue.
Because I see a lot of people now, they love your work. I think this normally what happens is, because this is the reason I'm asking, it needs to go out, because we deal with a lot of clients who say that yaar ye architect expensive hoga the moment they look at your pictures, ye kaam expensive hoga maybe, and they hesitate to approach, right? Because there was someone who was there on the podcast also. They mentioned that we do these projects because these are aspiring people who wants to get their house done with someone who's a known name, right?
Correct.
And they don't approach because they think they'll be shut down.
Right.
I think when it goes on record,
Well,
record,
then I would probably say that it is these photographer guys who make things look larger than life than they are, which probably causes this kind of an issue.
no, but your design, I think I've been following your work. I think we need to speak about that as well, and how many countries you've done work. And the moment you speak about countries, you have a flavor of those countries in your design. I think this is one thing that, because I've seen designers who are working abroad, but what happens is that this is the reason I'm reaching there about the niche and the versatility. What happens is, फिर वो दिखता है वो Indianism या एक वो design sense का एक वो reflection दिखता है. But the houses that you make has got their country vibe with little bit of touch of what you do. How do you? I mean, what is your approach to that?
So what happens is you have to go back to each and every region or wherever you are working. Let's say the whole work culture in US is very different.
Yeah.
Right.
If you want to compare that with Singapore,
Yeah.
now why I'm not bringing Dubai in between, because Dubai is exactly like Bombay. It's just like how you have New Mumbai, you have a Saaf Suthra Mumbai, so which is Dubai.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what I'm telling you, that the work culture or whatever is very different if you're working in London, in
Singapore.
US or in Singapore.
Yeah.
Then what you do is you try and go more local.
Look.
You source things which are more local.
Okay.
Okay.
If I'm sitting in Singapore and I say, no, I want to get marble from Italy, from so-and-so person only,
Yeah.
but maybe it depends upon the client
Client.
whether it is worth it or not. Again, what happens is, even if I get
Agreed.
that material from Italy, I might get these big size
Slabs.
slabs.
Yeah.
But in Singapore, there are rules which are there. A labor, you are exactly. So like he knows. So there's a particular weight and a size that one person can manage that.
Yeah.
So you get to learn.
Yeah.
It's not that I know all of this. Even I stumble upon this as you are going on
Right.
working in these
Industries.
locations.
Yes.
I mean, and I'm a little good with languages. So again, I still remember my client is looking at me. I mean, he's one of the biggest aluminum kings of India.
Okay.
The villa that we did inside Sentosa Island for him.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he is looking at me and my carpenter. My carpenter was Alex, and he was a Chinese guy. And we both are fighting in Chinese.
Chinese.
Okay.
And he's like, I don't know what you are saying. What he's saying, he went on saying, mayo, mayo, mayo. Usko mayonnaise khane ka. I said, nahi dada, mayo means no.
Yeah.
He's like, then why suddenly after some time you explained something to him? And he started saying, toi, 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 toi. I said, which basically means yes, because he was considering that particular detail to be done in a certain manner.
Yeah.
And then I explained to him that that is not the only way, this is the other way of doing it.
Okay.
So yeah, again, one more thing that I would like to share with everybody is have a lot of patience, trust me.
Yeah.
Right.
So you really need a lot of patience to do what we guys are doing.
What's your process normally to deal with customers who are finicky or very demanding at times?
Demanding, I mean, which customer is not demanding? I mean, I'm very sure we all are. Yeah, I mean, people walking into your store also must be demanding, and upon that we have all those usual Indian habits. बोले भैया ये सैंडविच के साथ में थोड़ा चटनी फ्री दे देना, तो वो काइंड ऑफ रिक्वेस्ट तो आते ही रहते हैं कि हाँ वो yeah, so yeah, finicky is okay. I mean, luckily, I mean, touch wood, whatever, we've not had anybody who's had a rift or I'll take you to court kind of this thing. And like you guys know, I'm pretty flexible or comfortable to approach as such. And then, yeah, we find our ways or methods out to handle something. So yeah, like coming back to the point that how you choose the materials. Like again, Dubai, where I first met you,
Mm.
was again, I mean, that is a whole mecca or powerhouse of
Yeah.
materials.
Yeah, agreed.
So once you go there, you understand, and then you have. So my logic always is wherever I go as if I am an angutha chap.
Okay.
I don't go as a MBA. મને બધું આવડે છે, તું શું શીખવાડે? So I don't go with that attitude. I
Okay.
go with, okay, I'm an angutha shop. I mean, tell me, you become a sponge
Right.
and try and absorb as much as you can.
Right.
That is how you will learn, and that is how what you're talking about. You get the, the local craftsmen, the local, like again Singapore. Trust me, the best lamination or PU work
Yeah.
any person can do for you is only and only an Indonesian painter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh man, the finish these guys give to a veneer, you could actually shave in that.
Yeah.
I mean, it is that mirror and that piano finish. It's crazy. So yeah, you get to learn a lot. You get to work with the details. I mean, I do tell my clients this, and at times they keep looking at me at a very weird this thing, like, you've put me in a space and that space talks to me. I'm like, pagal hai. Pata nahi kya bol raha hai. Call a psychiatrist, put him in a mental asylum or something. No, but a space, it talks to you, demands, like again the Singapore villa. So when we acquired it, the staircase was a very closed one.
Okay.
And this in Sentosa, you can arrive at a particular villa by either driving to it in a car
Okay.
Or you can
or
take a
by
boat,
coming
yeah.
into a boat.
Boat, yeah.
So
exactly.
the other end is your whole marina is connected and
Right.
all. So I said, if you're going to have a look there, I'm doing such a nice infinity pool below.
Right.
And you get to see the marina. What is the sense in having that
Closed
dead wall?
stairs,
So the
yeah.
very first thing was we knocked
Remove this.
that off and then made like a structural glazing kind of a thing with transparent glass.
Okay. So you
So
can
each
see
time
them
you go up and down the stairs, you could actually
See.
have a look and you don't feel
Wow.
claustrophobic or something like that. So yeah, many weird or
Facets.
finicky ideas as such. Like in the Dubai only, we were doing this villa for somebody, and his son, young dude, he's like, I love to listen to EDM and all, and in my bathroom, can we do something? I said, of course you can do
You can.
something. And there's this company from Netherlands which makes very weird speakers. I mean, he calls all their speakers based on reptile names.
Okay.
He has speakers that are called lizards. He has one particular one which is called anaconda, which runs like about a meter long.
Okay.
Okay.
And then it's up to you whether you want to encase this whole showroom with those
Speaker.
speakers in the entire periphery or whatever. So, I was sitting in their showroom in Silicon Oasis, and I did something and I noticed that the diameter is around 2 feet. So,
Okay.
and it generally has a male female at the end, so you can go
Okay.
on connecting as
Connecting,
well.
yes.
So I told him, can I connect this only and have the connect there? So he's like, nobody's ever asked us something like this, so I'll have to go back to our designing team. I said, go back and let me know.
Right.
So he called the owner of the company, and the owner of the company is like, yaar, ye kaun hai? And why does he want it? The bana to denge, but why? We want to know the
Right.
why behind it. So, sir, it is this part, we can
Right.
do it. I give it to you in 10 days time. I'll fly it in or whatever. So I said, get it. Once it was there, I didn't know of this. His owner or the company owner told him, you go personally to deliver this
Okay.
and you see what the hell he's doing with it.
Okay.
So what we did is, in that much time, I asked Moheb, who's like a younger brother, that I need a shower head which is around 2 feet 2 inches or 2 feet 6 inches wide.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, the Gruhe I think has one of those, and he gave me this round which was
Okay.
there. So we had that ready. We had the whole team ready. This guy came with that anaconda. We put it. I told my plumber to start screwing
The
the
Shower.
shower.
So we sandwiched that anaconda between the shower and the false ceiling,
Okay.
and we made it stuck tight.
Okay.
So that what happened is, after that you pair it with the Bluetooth and ask the client to start playing his kind of a music which was very pulsating,
Pulse.
and we on the shower. So you get a pulsating shower
Nice.
Okay.
as
Yeah.
per your beats of the music.
Yes.
Interesting.
Never.
That's the Gary part
Yeah.
which you were asking about. Yeah.
Okay.
That's exactly. And like I told you, one thing leads to the other.
Yeah.
So something which small, an idea which came
Came
by,
in
we
and-
got it executed. I got invited by the owner of the company to Amsterdam
Okay.
for audio visual show where these guys are there. You know, they take part
Okay.
for it. So yeah, things just play
Things
along
just-
and it happens.
Nice. We have seen the Instagram. We have seen your Instagram. Now reaching there.
Bolo.
I think you are a people's person. This is what we all know.
I wouldn't say I'm a people's person. I'm a Feroz Khan fan.
Yeah. Okay.
Pyar lo. You know.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, what is there that you can give? Okay, just imagine if it is somebody who is a multi-millionaire. I mean, what can you really give that person? Is the only attention and love that you can, or
Right.
give your time.
Yeah.
Time is a very big thing as of today to give
Yeah.
people as such. I've been asked so many times from, you know, fellow vendors like you all, friends who are like you or other fellow architects. Hey, तेरे को time कैसे मिलता है? There is a time. There's always
There
a
is.
time.
हाँ,
Time
मेरा
निकालना
क्वेश्चन
पड़ता
वही
है.
था.
I know where you were getting at. Yeah, I know. So time निकालना पड़ रहा है. And my logic is like, okay, like you're opening or whatever, or a store. Or if somebody is calling you और आपको अगर उतनी इज्जत दे रहे हैं, तो it is the least that you can do is go and show up there. Or I mean, what is it that they're asking?
Because you're one person that I know has got too much work, and alhamdulillah, touch wood, and you are available, seen, and everywhere also.
I mean,
Because you can do either one, right? You can either be seen in places or you can be there. So
it's too much of me to see anyway. So that being said apart is, I'm seen, I'm whatever, like God has been kind. I have good friends. I have architecture friends. I have vendor friends like you who are there, you know, in the industry. तो वही है, वो 26 साल में हो सकता है पैसा कम कमाए हो, दोस्ती और इज्जत और भाईचारा ज्यादा कमाए. And which is more important than anything.
Okay. So now we're moving to a segment which is called Whisper Challenge. I think you've already seen it in the previous episode, and I think it's between the duo. So this time we'll have Varun sir and Girish sir do it together. Yeah. So one person will guess the words. You'll know the words because the other person can't hear it because of the music, and that's what you're trying to do. Who wants to go first?
I think you want. I'll go first.
All right, cool.
Fluffy.
Fig.
Rug.
Fig.
No. 2 words.
2 words.
Fluffy.
Fluffy.
नहीं.
Fluffy floor, carpet.
Carpet. Another one.
Floor, carpet. Carpet.
Another word.
Say the word. Fluffy car. नहीं, carpet.
Rug. अरे आवाज बरोबर नहीं आ रही.
Fluffy.
What rhymes with carpet?
Next word. Next.
Fluffy.
You have to change the word.
Next, funky.
Fire.
Perfect.
Lampshade.
Rain.
Fire. Next पे चले जाओ. Another word.
Next word.
Cozy. Cozy.
Cozy. नहीं.
हाँ.
Suzy.
हाँ.
Cozy.
हाँ.
Cozy.
हाँ. फिर cushion.
Cozy cushion. No.
Yeah.
Cozy
Nice.
cushion.
हाँ.
ये म्यूजिक बंद है. ये म्यूजिक बंद है.
कुछ तो झोल है. बरोबर है. 2 words again. Tall. Plant.
दिख रहा है.
दिख रहा है क्या? Round.
Loud.
Mirror.
Loud.
Mirror.
Loud.
Mirror.
Loud build. No.
Loud mirror.
क्या हो रहा है?
क्या हो रहा है?
पहला बरोबर है.
Loud is okay.
हाँ.
Then
चलेगा. फिर mirror.
loud bill. No.
नहीं.
बिल. इनको बिल ही समझ में आता है.
देखा सिंधी और मारवाड़ी को बिठाएगा तो ऐसी चीजें समझ में आएगी. नहीं. Mirror. अब 3 बार तो दे दिया.
Loud building. No.
हाँ. Loud building. Perfect. बहुत है अपने यहाँ पे.
हो गया?
Done.
Done last
All-
one?
yeah,
Okay,
all
I
of
think
them are
Varun sir
done.
guessed only, I think one?
Done.
Yeah, done. 5 he said 5.
Acha. Pillow.
Pillow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Vintage frame.
Second,
Two words.
वापस.
Vintage frame.
Village.
Vintage.
Vintage.
Frame. Vintage frame. Frame.
Flip.
Frame.
Philip.
Frame.
Flip.
Frame.
Film.
Frame.
So दूसरा.
तीसरे पे आ जाओ. Glass.
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 Glass
vase. Glass vase.
Vase.
Glass vase.
Nice.
Okay. Ticking clock. Ticking.
हाँ?
Ticking.
क्या?
Ticking. Ticking. Clock.
Again.
Ticking. Clock.
Next.
Move on.
Comfy.
Comfort.
Comfy. Fee.
Comfy.
Chair.
Comfy shade.
Chair. Chair. Comfy chair.
Comfy chair.
Yeah.
हाँ, ये क्या दिखा? ये cheating है.
अरे वो साइड बोला यार. chair
मैं
का
जैन
बोला.
बोला देख लिया उसने.
Done. That's it.
Well done. हो गया.
हो गया.
That's it. No, you didn't get. You got the pillow one. Then
हाँ.
was vintage frame.
Vintage frame you didn't
Last
get.
was
हाँ.
ticking clock.
Ticking clock and frame.
जो हमने किया था वो ticking clock
हाँ.
था.
और उसके ऊपर frame नहीं आया था.
Yeah.
मतलब the first,
Vintage
second one.
frame
Vintage
नहीं, you were
frame.
saying flip.
Vintage. We like to understand a project close to your heart.
Yeah.
It can be one project, couple of projects, but
Well, project close to my heart would not be very fair because all my projects are very close to my heart.
But that's
I'm
very fine
generally
standard.
no, because I'm a very passionate person. So whatever I
Right.
do, I put all my heart and soul in it.
right.
But yeah, I mean, what Zaid was talking about, okay, what is your style? What the client will ask you is a different thing, but what is your style?
Right.
So yeah, we did this house for a young couple in a very different location. I shall reveal the location later. This was a temporary house according to them
Okay.
for 5 years, which we totally designed there. They came to us with a very simple requirement.
Mhm.
We want the house to look like you are staying in Europe.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And we don't want to fill each and every wall.
Okay.
We want it to be less is more. And,
Okay.
we don't want tacky things to be put up. And so, yeah, we did that. And I mean, if you look at the photographs of that particular project, nobody is ready to believe that this is in one of the most amazing places in Ghatkopar called Naidu Colony.
Okay.
And it's a slum redevelopment project.
Okay.
In which this particular house is there. And why they were looking at a temporary this thing is because we have to do another villa for them,
Okay.
and which is going to be more towards Vasai and Virar.
Okay.
So people generally make an outhouse. These guys want to get out of the city.
Nice.
Okay.
So because again they can work from home, they can
Right.
work. I mean, they're in that kind of work
Right.
space that they can work
Right.
from anywhere. So yeah, 5 years till that kind of gets done, or the passing and
Right.
the construction and the interiors get done. Till then, they want to kind of stay that. Yeah,
Okay.
so that was a very nice house, young, fresh, and that was a project which was very close to us.
Okay.
Okay. I think we have a commercial project also that we need to
Yes,
discuss about,
commercial projects also. We keep doing a lot of commercial projects as well. I mean, offices more than what we would love to do. Restaurants also,
Okay.
because just वो कहते हैं ना दाल चावल खा के आदमी बोर हो जाता है. कभी कभी बिरयानी चाहिए. So on the same lines, the commercial projects come in and they really move the whole shift the base of what
Yeah.
you've been generally doing in the residential field
Right.
to something totally different. And this is exactly what we've done for a shipping company called Ayer Shipping.
Okay.
And we did their Bombay office for them.
Mhm.
So we've set a again, the same thing which is right up our alley, very minimalistic, very Scandinavian, with a biophilic element in the whole space.
Okay.
Okay.
So that you don't feel like you are in the office and it does not feel like a 9 to 5 job. I mean, just on that logic, and once the site was handed over, about 15 days later, the client in the evening gives us a call and he's like, तेरे को मेरे से दुश्मनी है क्या? I said, sir, क्या हो गया? He's like, earlier in the last office that we used to sit, these guys used to start packing their bags at 5:30 to leave at 6.
Yeah.
Right.
Now it is bloody 6:30. They are not packing their bags. Where am I supposed to go home? So something like that. So yeah, you make more human-centric spaces where people like to work, and it does not feel that stress. More relaxed, more how I am actually. So yeah, so you work while you work and you play while you play. So on those lines, and then we did one office for them in Mumbai.
Okay.
We've done a similar office because now we made that like a brand identity and the signature of the particular company.
Okay.
So we did their Dubai office. We have to do one in Singapore and one in Miami also. Of course, there are the Indian different cities as such. We have to do Kandla. We have to do one in Chennai, one in Delhi also. So yeah, now the module is kind of set. So that the moment you enter that space, like, the entrance door also is like a container trailer shutter behind that you have in the container.
Nice.
That is what is there. So the moment you come to the premise and you are at a shipping
Nice.
office, you don't mistake it for an electronic office or an insurance office or one of those. It's very evident and it is there. So that signature, we've kind of carried it forward to all their locations.
Nice. Okay, I think that's the segment. I don't know. You spoke about something and it's been there in my head. We want to speak about your second wife wala kissa.
I'm not that brave to venture into a second wife. It's just that I have these friends, and हर एक friend कमी ना होता है. There was this time, of all the people I was for about 4 or 5 days in Dubai and about 4 or 5 days in Bombay. And I had a service apartment there, so naturally all my clothes and all used to be there. And for my travels, I just had this one carry-on bag, small, which had a laptop or whatever, in it. And my friends, they came home and they brainwashed my mother कि मम्मी ये देखो ऐसे ही जाता है, कोई बैग नहीं, कपड़ा नहीं है, वहाँ इसने दूसरा शादी कर लिया and पक्का है ना, इधर से कपड़े लेके जा रहा है ना वहाँ से धोने के लिए कुछ लेके आ रहा है. Although the laundry and all was set at the service apartment, and my mother, being Sidi Sadi, she bought that. And after some time, when the lockdown came, she came to me and she's like, "एक काम कर, a lot of people, भले lockdown है, उस बेचारी को भी यहाँ बुला लो." And as a good son, I immediately responded, "हाँ मम्मी मैं बुला लेता हूँ." And then it struck me after 2 or 3 seconds, like बुलाना किसको, इधर से बुलाना है. And then she's like, नहीं तेरी वहाँ दुबई में भी बीवी है ना, उसको भी यहाँ बॉम्बे बुला ले. And I'm like, you going, you think your son is that funny that, he already has this one woman here and I'm going to go and have another one over there. नहीं भाई, एक ही 10 के बराबर है. Upon that I married a Punjabi girl.
Okay.
That is still a different story. What you see is not motapa, this is Sujan. I get thrashed every day, so yeah, Sujan hai ye. Simple. So no second wife. पहली वाली भारी हो गई. In fact, to the extent, my father-in-law is named Deepak Bhari. तो बस वो भारियों की बेटी भारी पड़ी है. That's good enough.
Okay, all right. So we were discussing about something, because this is where I'm plugging in the product that we are discussing about. Tiles के बारे में we were speaking about something. We do a porcelain stoneware, and you, I think, out of everyone that I know in the industry, you've been exposed to this material per se for the longest period of time, and you've been playing with this product for a long period of time.
Yeah, of course.
How do you position this in the market? Because to us, because being in the sales fraternity that we are in, it becomes difficult for someone, for us to explain कि ये 900 रुपए का tile क्यों है. I'm being very candid with you, because I think out of everyone, you can answer that question correctly.
The 900 रुपए का tile क्यों है का justification दूसरा है. I don't think it needs to justify, because the kind of products that are there at your store justify themselves.
Okay.
Because you have this girl rapper, her song is there. मैं नहीं तो कौन बे. So it is one of these. If not these styles,
Right.
what And why? Because
Right.
see, Italian marble, of course, has its own grace. It has that cool feel. It has that seamless
Feel to them.
feel to it, and you can't make out the joints and stuff like that. But again, how you play with the tile also, how
Right.
you work at the details, also depends largely upon how you correctly said you play with them.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you ask me, slowly and steadily, I mean, if everybody can realize this, that these big module tiles are going to be the future.
Right.
Because trust me, there was a time I used to get different marbles. Let's say you're talking about Diana, or you're
Right.
talking about
Parlato.
परलाटो तो अभी वो यूजुअल हो गया, अभी तो
Right.
पान की दुकान में भी नहीं लगता परलाटो. But yeah, I mean any of these, like let's even
Yes.
say a pink onyx
Pink
for
onyx.
that matter.
Yeah.
And again, there was this whole fascination people had कि वो onyx
Backlit.
पीछे से backlit करो, which also is kind of dying down. But the
Right.
whole point where I'm getting at is whether it is Diana, whether it is
Botox,
Alpinus,
yeah.
or
What
it is how do you call it?
I think Dovers were there, Michelangelo's were there.
Michelangelo's
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
So then what is happening is, again, the mines, if you go back to Italy and see, the mines are going on diminishing. The quality of marble that is coming out is not at par with what that signature used to be.
Right.
Okay, like probably Alpinus. Today, you buy a top quality Alpinus, or even Michelangelo, what you were talking about. So Michelangelo from the quarries used to come very different.
Right.
And वो कैसे ना वो अच्छा माल खत्म हो गया.
वो क्रीम लेयर खत्म हो
और
गया.
अभी वो क्रीम में है ना, थोड़ा वो दूध में पानी मिला के वो दूध जो गाढ़ा था वो पतला होते जा रहा है. But in case if you want to really keep this going for a longer period of time in the future that we are talking about, although yes, there are newer countries. I mean, there used to be only Italy once upon a time. Now you have Turkey, you have China, you have so many places from which the marble is coming. And why anywhere else? Our own
Indian,
make in India lion, which is there.
Right.
Marbles are coming out pretty good, and you have good
machines to
cut
everything,
slice them and cut them and process them in a very nice form over here also. But again, a bathroom is typically, I mean, like I always say, God has been kind of, the biggest bathroom we've done is like 20 by 26 feet.
Oh wow.
So,
okay.
So yeah, and you'll be surprised, it's not Dubai, it's here in Nagpur.
Really?
So, okay. So again, yeah, so something like that. The whole costing, in fact, if you go to see, today where it becomes viable is like what you said, let's say the tile is 900 rupees for a Michelangelo.
Yeah.
But the Michelangelo that you're showing, the characters and the veins in that 900 rupees, if you will actually go to sort out or look for in the market, will go somewhere around 4,000 to 5,000 bucks.
100%, I agree.
Again, that is.
And that the size won't be available.
The other thing is, people use it. They're using Italian marble in the floors, which is fine. We'll use it on the wall dados also in the bathrooms. But you have to understand that whatever you're using as a product yourself also, the shampoo, the body
lotion,
body wash,
body
wash,
yeah,
all of these also have some kind of detergent and acidic reactions with the marble.
100%.
And then, the Italian marble bathrooms were a little dull after a while. Of course, yes, I mean, this is going to be a debate which is
it's never ending. Yeah.
Never ending.
It's never going to end. वो मतलब pure घी की मिठाई अच्छी होती है और डालडा की बेकार होती है, kind of a thing. But yeah, I wouldn't call this as dalda. But there are some strengths which this material has, which a marble cannot have. Or your large module printed prints which are there.
Yeah.
You have birds, you have tropical themes, you have flowers. Those all you cannot really have it in the marble. At the same time, like I was just talking to Arun about this, is let's say Amazonite. I mean, there is this one project that we are using, a 5 feet by 10 feet tile, which is Amazonite. Why we are using that is because the actual Amazonite, what you're getting is hardly about 2 feet by 3 feet.
Maximum.
And the quality is like, the green is not there.
Yeah.
It is now
all
become
grey.
a sarson ka saag. That actual green.
Yeah, it's all grey. Green
I mean, seriously. I mean, you look at that, and after that, he's still asking for about 3,000 or 4,000 bucks for that small size and that not really Amazonite look. I mean, I would rather go in for this mammoth size of a
10
tile
by
which
5.
is one piece,
Yeah.
flawless, and again, because these tiles again have phases now and then.
Right.
So two walls don't look the same.
Right.
Earlier, the problem with the tile used to be that वो एक ही छाप था जो
Print
चलते
used
जा
to
रहा था.
continue.
cookie
Yes.
cutter
And
जैसा
now,
था वो,
हाँ,
same
तो
thing.
वो वही होता था. But now you have things which have come up like endless series.
Right.
You have things that come up in book match series
Yeah.
or a endless like 5,
Vein
6
matching
panels
or-
Yeah.
together where one particular wave is
Is
transcending
matching,
from
yeah.
one
One
face to
face
the
to the other
other.
face.
So those kind of things make it look more better, more realistic.
Sir, I would also like to, because you have the neck of it, you have the knowledge about it. Please speak about the polishing and the laying cost, which goes extra when it comes to the
Which is
marble.
again a very big thing that a person while buying the marble does not realize it, and it is not a one-time cost.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because that, like I said, you will have the shampoo and you have the body wash, and all this will slowly and steadily make it dull.
Yeah.
Right.
Then you have the client calling you, अरे यार मेरे लिविंग रूम
Polish
का
में।
मार्बल मेरे बाथरूम का पूरा डल हो गया, कल सुबह उसको भेज
Polishing
वापस
करवानी।
पॉलिश करेंगे, which is again a very big myth that people have. That once you polish means it's just like putting a nail polish coat
No.
on top. No, what happens is each time you're polishing,
The slicing.
you
One layer is
slicing
going-
it and you
Yeah.
cut away about 2 or
The
3
scrubbing,
mm of
yeah,
that
yeah.
Right.
marble. At that stage, if you have a 20 cm marble also, and you get it polished 4 times, the 6th or the 5th time the sand and the cement is going to come off. I mean, it's quite likely. Whereas something like this does not require that.
Yes.
And again, with the companies realizing it, you have the matte tiles,
Right.
you have the Lapato finish,
You have a silk finish.
you have silk finish
Hmm.
now. You have ones where the marble veins are also, kind of the punch
Passing through the
tiles
product.
or-
The punch tiles, the veins are
punch
passing
tiles
through.
or whatever. So
Hmm.
again, that become what again is nice in these is because you get them both. You get the glossy one also, which you can put it up on the wall,
Right.
and the matte ones or
For
the
the floor.
Lapato ones you put on the floor, so it becomes like an anti-skid.
Right.
And yet you don't variate from the material, which again brings it very close to you. The same thing you would do in marble also is you have the polished
Leather
one on the
finish
wall,
and then
and you have a leather or
Leather,
river
yeah.
wash or one of those treated
But-
ones
on the floor.
on the
On
floor.
the floor.
Speaking about material, we are discussing. Are you aware about the product that we have, which is called Sapien Stone, which is a kitchen countertop?
Oh yes, of course, we've been
Yes.
using a lot of that.
Yeah.
I mean, you probably have a particular brand, but we worked with other brands also.
Right.
I mean, I'm not sure whether I should take the name.
Please.
You
But
can, please.
yeah, I mean, like you have Caesar Stone,
Yeah,
you have CPN, what you guys
Sapien
have.
stone.
You have Dectin, which in India
Yes.
people
Correct.
don't know so much of.
Yeah, yeah. It's
I mean,
a-
abroad
Can
I
you
have
shed more
used.
light on that, because you're moving from granite towards this product?
Sure.
What is your take on that? I think it
The
becomes
take, first of all, my take would come secondly. What is the take of all the Barbies, aunties, and mummies?
yeah.
Right.
That is what is the most this thing, because the trust me, doing up a house is very different ball game than doing a commercial space.
Right.
Okay, I mean, sorry, this might not come out right,
Okay.
but on 3 occasions I have been paid extra to handle the wife. Not in the way you are thinking about.
Okay, not thinking that way.
No. It's like, सुन, क्या चाहिए? इतना फीस चाहिए? एक्स्ट्रा ले. वो जो बोलेगी करके दे. Don't eat my brains. She wants a red kitchen, give her a red kitchen.
Okay.
She wants to put the bed on the ceiling
Put the-
and put the fan on the floor. Do it Spider-Man बन के वैसे चिपक के सो जाऊंगा. Don't call me. So yeah, we have that. So what is more required to get convinced is the ladies,
Right.
because they are the boss at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And kitchen is something which is very dear to
True.
any of the
lady in the
Indian
Agreed.
women as
Agree.
such, any age group, whatever you
I think
want
the
to
Indian
call it.
kitchen versus the world's kitchen. That's
It's different
It's
story,
two,
still
it's
different.
two different
Yeah,
ball games.
yeah.
वो planet ही अलग है,
Yeah.
boss.
वहाँ पे
Yeah.
घुसने
You
का
know,
नहीं।
वहाँ पे तो तुम लकड़े का काउंटर टॉप डाल दो. German woman is absolutely okay
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah.
You put a stainless steel. She's
You put a
okay
solid
with
surface,
that.
you do
put a
anything.
solid surface. You make it out of Italian marble. She's
People are-
perfectly fine.
Yeah.
इधर तो हमको बाकायदा any of these stones what
Sure.
you're talking about, we call for a
Test
sample.
and we do the test.
Because everybody is now bored of the typical granite colors, which is
Right.
blacks, browns,
Black.
which are darker ones.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
The lighter ones always had that
Porosity
absorption
of-
and
absorption,
porosity
yeah.
problems.
Haldi stains. And
Yeah. तो अब हम ये मंगाते हैं और उनको देते बोले जाओ जाके इसके ऊपर
Test
यूज
करो।
नहीं अब्यूज करके आओ. बोला हल्दी गिराओ, आचार गिराओ,
आचार गिराओ, जो
पापड़
गिराना
गिराओ, चाय का स्टेन डालो, विनेगर डालो, जो चाहिए रगड़ लो. So once they go and do
Do that.
that and they are satisfied कि हाँ मैं तो means we had a woman who kept haldi, achar and I mean all of the above for 2 days.
Yeah.
And after that she cleaned it and she's like हाँ आप
Okay.
आज तक
दो दिन छोड़ के चले जाऊंगी
हाँ,
तो भी नहीं होना
हाँ
चाहिए.
बोले अच्छा which practically nobody does the moment you spill
See,
something.
5 minutes you
Why
It
clean
is a
it.
human, you would wipe it then and then. Maybe you would tell Shanta bhai, ye zara saaf kar lena, kind of a thing, which you would do after 5 minutes, you know, being you're preoccupied or
Yeah.
lazy or either of those.
Mhm.
And here she actually tested this for 2
2 days.
days, and she's like, हाँ अभी ये पास हो गया आपका, अभी आप लगा सकते हो. So yeah, I mean it is not us convincing so much as it is the
But
client.
technically using it on the countertop, is it the same like the marble? Because you have I think the one that we call it is the front fascia of it.
Fascia.
I think pani patti is what we normally
so
call
that is a challenge
Yeah.
when it comes to this particular material, because all these companies, whatever they do is they have a top glaze or a top thing which is very nice.
Yeah.
Right.
The moment you try to mold them, it will even mold.
Correct.
Right.
But then what happens is that mold is where the absorption and all happens.
Correct.
तो हल्दी टॉप पे तो गिरा, अगर
Right.
उस पानी पट्टी पे आ गया, that's going to become yellow and you are screwed.
Correct.
That's means it's a case in not with sapien stone.
Please,
Yeah,
please.
that is a case which I like. Not with sapien stone because here the body is full.
Yeah, it's
In
it's
this
like,
brand, specific brand.
It's like a full body.
Full body kind of
Yeah.
product.
So the top that you
So-
see is also the side.
See.
So even if
Correct.
you mold it, there's
In fact,
0.01%
we have
porosity.
been trying to explain to the women, and we've come up with this hack. I mean, all the juniors understand this. It's an easier way of making them realize. You have to understand that why they want that pani patti.
Right.
Okay.
They want that pani patti so that any spillage, any
It doesn't.
water, it does not wet their dress. That is
Correct.
the only agenda.
Correct.
Right.
What we do is we tilt the platform by about 1 or 2 degrees
Mhm.
from the front to the back.
Okay. So it's
So that whatever the water has to go and get accumulated happens where the backsplash and the counter match.
okay.
Okay.
So it won't touch her only, even if she spills.
Okay.
वो slope उस तरफ
It's a
होगा
different
तो
technique.
वो-
We
It's
listen
a
to.
technique. Try
This is a
it.
different technique I've
Yeah.
learned today.
Yeah.
Nice.
So you
I've
can
never
try
thought
that.
about it. So
It does that, and especially the main concern or the main people who ask us for these pani pattis. I mean, not that I'm going any community
Yeah,
specific, but it's majorly Gujaratis and Marwadis who
Marwadis,
want it,
100%.
because kitchen is like a temple for them.
Right.
જમવામાં શું છે, આજે શું ખાવાનું છે, રાત્રે
ઈ
શું
રાત્રે
છે. So,
morning we're
and
discussing
their
about
whole life
afternoon,
revolves
afternoon.
around there.
Food. Yeah.
Trust me, we even had ladies who come up to us and tell us, બોલે એને કહી દો બેડરૂમમાં એસી નથી જોતી પણ કિચનમાં જોઈએ છે. Because the majority time
Time
is
is in
there.
kitchen.
It is already a chaotic space.
Right.
There's so much heat, and then again the environmental heat,
And the hob,
the heat
chimneys.
from the hobs and
Agreed.
everything and all the
Agreed.
appliances as such. So it gets very taxing and whatever. So then give her that if you really want good food.
Right.
So put in the AC as such. So yeah, we have to come up. And the other logic is always tell them that what is the disadvantage of having the pani patti.
Pani patti.
Advantage they know. कि मेरा
What is the
कपड़ा खराब
disadvantage,
है.
sir?
What is the disadvantage? The biggest disadvantage that comes to me is what is called hygiene.
Okay.
Okay.
What happens is, okay, you might put a baldi in. I've actually had clients who every day after
Marwadis do.
lunch,
Marwadis do. Every
Marwadis,
lunch and dinner
Gujaratis,
it's-
Yeah.
हाँ फिर सीधा बाल्टी
दो
डाल
जग लेंगे
के,
पानी.
Huh?
Yeah.
हाँ, और वो उसका स्लोप ऐसा तो, और वहाँ कोने में भी either they make you put a small sink,
Yeah.
or we've come up with another logic of like how in the basins you
Right.
pop up.
Pop-ups.
So we give that, and then उसका ही जो ऊपर का ग्रेनाइट या टाइल है ना, वो भी वो
उसे
pop-up
लगा
के
दो.
ऊपर चिपका
Have you
के
ever
दे देंगे.
tile insert kind of thing? But you do it with the pop-up.
Exactly.
Okay. Nice.
Exactly. So then
Interesting.
it does not look bad. You don't have a cockroach coming out of that
Yeah.
tile insert as such.
Right.
And you don't need a big, huge pipe. So even a
Yes,
2
yes.
inches pipe or a drain pipe
Interesting.
suffice.
Interesting.
What you would have below your, like a bottle trap kind of a thing. And आप उसको उधर slope कर दो, बोले ये सब झाड़ू
Benefit.
मार के दो, तो this basically is like a damn wall for them.
Yeah.
It's-
जो इधर नहीं आता है.
वो
But what they
psychologically
don't-
रह गया अभी. Then
हाँ,
it's-
what they don't realize is then you know make them realize this. भाभी उसमें ना ये सब धोने पे है ना, वो दाल आटा
दाल
ये सब अटक जाता है, फिर वो बहुत बास मारता है 4 दिन. और उसके पास ही ना कीड़ी आती है, फिर वो कोने से ही कीड़ी चली जाती है, अरे हाँ ऐसा बाज तो आता है, एंड हाँ कीड़ा तो आता है, ठीक है गिरीश भाई नहीं चाहिए, लेकिन वो देखना पानी नहीं लगना चाहिए. So then you go into this thing and we slope it behind.
Interesting.
Never had this kind of a take on the kitchen. It's very new to learn.
Yeah.
Now
भाई
that
अपना
thing-
लॉजिक सीधा है, बरोबर किचन बना के दो तो अगली बार जाएंगे तो बंदे को अच्छा मिलेगा.
और घर पे किचन के ऊपर कुछ नहीं.
That's what I said. It's a
इंडिया में
temple.
किचन के ऊपर.
It is a temple for
I
me,
agree,
so,
I agree.
yeah.
You were speaking about your design approach.
Yeah, so
Let's
again,
discuss about
this is
that,
what
yeah.
I mean. Like you asked me, I said you said let's introduce Luxe surfaces in your office while you're selecting materials with the client and
Correct.
Right.
things like that. So see, what happens is a lot of colleagues, architects, or friends, what they do is they have this whole logic of mood board,
Yes.
and then they do this thing. What we do is we do our renders in house.
Okay.
Okay. By and large, we get a vibe from a person. Like, okay, let's say I have to do a bathroom for him.
Right.
It has to be very decent, elegant,
Right.
not too loud, white, beige, maybe a highlighter, something
Right.
which can be there. More earthy also, or more matte for that matter. But if I was to do something for you, has to have a feature wall
Yeah.
or some striking
Right.
thing somewhere.
Yeah.
So like I said, it is personality. So we already know their personality.
Yeah.
What we do in the designing is, or what I would rather ask from you guys is, give us the digital catalog in a high res. I mean,
Whole
even if
catalog
you
in a
go
high
back
res.
and
Okay.
speak to Kirti, who's a part of your
Sales.
team,
Yes.
is whenever my clients have come in, we have chosen something, and I always ask her to give me a high resolution image of that
Right.
particular tile. Because then what we do is we have our team do renders in-house only.
Okay.
Okay.
So we use those images, and by high res, because all our render images are 4K outputs.
Okay.
And you can actually put it up on a 75-inch TV. That's what we do in our office.
Beautiful.
So it
Right.
actually gives you, call the client over there and show them the
whole
end product,
presentation, yeah.
which is according to their size, their
Fit to size.
bathroom,
It's a very
where
international
the
way of
way of
working. I
working.
think
that is international way of working. Or I mean,
Because
each person's approach.
because
as
I
such.
feel, sir, what happens overseas is, because I've been interacting with people, like render, your layout is something which is there, and the render is the final sign off. You make something like this for me, and then becomes easier, right?
Exactly.
And then you have to just achieve that. But I
That's
think here it is different. You show something and then you want to try to achieve
The
something.
other thing is that we actually, get out to companies and vendors and ask them for these. We have a database. What people don't realize is it is less headache for me. Let's say I
Right.
just did a lobby design for somebody,
Right.
and there's a particular shade of veneer or whatever has been used.
Mhm.
We immediately in our office say, "Ha, ye wala acha hai." My
Wait,
team
okay.
knows that, oh, this veneer is what has been used. This is
It's
from
from
this
this
particular vendor. Or if it is a laminate, the client says, no, I don't want to go veneer. So we exactly know that this particular shade with these characteristics is available with so-and-so laminate company as well.
Okay.
And whether you want a plain series or even usme bhi wo lapatu
Textures
or
aa gaya bahut.
textures and punch and all
Waves and
those
yeah,
are
a lot
there,
of things are
synchro
there.
series and all. So that is exactly how then we know, oh, this is what is 974
Yeah.
we had used.
Yes, yes, yes.
Sir, yeah. So it's the other way around, that you then come up with a mood board.
Right.
Not that you पहले वो राजा बाबू आएंगे, पूरी छोरा लाएंगे,
But
हम
sir,
सब
पहले
मिलके
यही था
खाएंगे.
ना. I think you're
पहले
there for
था,
last
अभी
25
भी
years.
काफी
You're there
लोग
for
आज
25
आज
years.
भी काफी
बहुत
लोग
लोग वही
हैं वो
process
जो they play with a mood board and all. What you have to understand is,
But you might be doing this thing, I think, initial days, right? And then you have just adapted to the render. I think.
yeah, similar. I mean, are you right with that? And the whole point is you to understand clients that were there about 20 years back and the clients that you have today, your so-called Gen Z or whatever you want to
Yeah,
call them, is these guys don't expect them to be dumb. I mean, these are kids who have roamed around the
The world, they
world,
know everything.
who know the difference between black and white, and
Yeah.
they have their mindset. If, let's say, tomorrow your son would come and tell me, uncle, I don't want a Buddha style bathroom. I want something which is very dark and dingy, and I want, like what I told you about the whole speaker thing.
Right.
Yeah.
So the kids want
Kids
something
want
which is something like that, I
And
mean,
they already
we
have a
had
frame of mind. You have to.
we had a kid who came and asked us, he's like, can you do a gaming room for me?
Okay.
So I want my room to be, I'm a gamer and I want it to look exactly like a gaming room.
True.
And over there only you're the mother and you pagale andhere mein rahega. And so then that is where you have to be the main median and come to a neutral ground
Yeah.
and say तेरे को वो चाहिए ना, 2 बटन दबा वो हो जाएगा, आपको भाभी चाहिए ना, इट शुड बी ब्राइट एंड ऑल, बच्चा पढ़े,
2 बटन.
बाकी टाइम में आप ये 2 बटन दबाना वो हो जाएगा. सो इट्स अ मिक्स वर्ल्ड.
Yeah.
Right.
सो यू कैनॉट डिक्टेट टर्म्स
Terms.
सच कि यही होगा. तो ये तुम्हारा पहले ही मतलब वो पिंटरेस्ट आ जाएगा, ये फोटो
सब
आ
पहले-
जाएगा,
सब पहले
वो आ जाएगा, मैंने इंस्टा के रील पे ये देखा, मुझे ये करके चाहिए. सो या आई मीन एवरीबडी इज
But you adapt to that? How do you?
we adapt to that if what you are singing is to our tune.
Okay.
We do
Okay.
adapt to it, and you cannot be blunt and say, "Nahi, I'm the designer. I will walk out if you." Boss, you can't do that.
Right.
You know, that is your shortcoming if you would do something like that. Rather is you tell them, okay, we'll work towards it. So what you do is वहाँ वो थोड़ा तुमको तुम्हारा politics और कबीलापन use करना है. You do what they are asking to do, but you do it in a little bad way.
Okay.
And you do what you want to do extra good. So वो अपने आप मतलब वो जैसे ही लड़की देखने जाते हो तो मतलब 4 बुरी लड़की देखो तो अच्छी लड़की पास हो जाती है. Is one of those things, you know. या लड़का for that matter. So yeah, it is something like that. So you cannot disrespect and say कि नहीं
Yeah,
नहीं this is
you
out
follow
of rubbish
my
and we can't, this cannot be done. That impossible वाला थोड़ा वो
word.
कहाँ से खरीदी बकवास डिक्शनरी वाला अपना लॉजिक. Nothing is impossible. It is doable. How you approach or handle it is the key to the whole thing.
Okay. Done. I think that's
Yeah.
what we wanted
Good.
to record. So now we
Nice.
move to the last segment.
Okay.
I think that's the thing which is called a rapid fire round,
अच्छा.
and it's more like a psychometric test of people to understand what you are as an individual. Okay. So the
Okay.
questions are designed in a way of very simple things, but the answer could be as easy as someone who can relate to you. So if your client is listening, and then the question is like, if your
Hello.
designs were a ice cream flavor, then you can give me the answer, and then the person can relate. Okay, he likes chocolate, then okay, fine. I know him already and I like him already. ठीक है,
Yes.
vanilla बोला यार नहीं यार ये नहीं हो सकता है.
He is too bland.
Yeah. Cool. So that's the whole question here.
No worries.
Okay. So
Shoot, yeah.
and after that we have a hamper for you. I think you're not competing against anyone. Even if you don't answer, you get the hamper. But still. So the first question is, if your design studio had a theme song, which song it would be?
Nice one. Very good question.
Yeah.
On the serious side, ये जीवन है.
Okay.
Okay. इस जीवन का यही है. यही है.
Okay.
So you know what song I'm talking about.
Yeah.
A motto rather would be, don't worry, कल फिर आएगा.
Okay. But I think your theme song could be. I mean, I was thinking that you would say "Chak De India" because you're like Shah Rukh Khan and you've got girls in your team.
Yeah, but
है ना?
yeah, that is not a bad one. But
है
the
ना?
whole point is at times I keep wondering. I mean, who's working with whom?
Yeah.
So they come up and they team up like this, and all 6 of them or 8 of them will come and they're like, कल सैटरडे है. I'm like, yeah, I know कल सैटरडे है. हम लोग कल आ रहे हैं लेकिन काम पे. हम लोग पूछ नहीं रहे, हम बताएं. ठीक है, आ जाओ, करके जाओ जो करना है. So yeah, I mean, who's the boss?
Okay,
is the main
alright.
thing.
Now, if your design style were a ice cream flavor,
Design style was an ice cream flavor. Kasata man.
yeah.
You get the
So
best of anything and everything. You want the cake, you can have the cake and eat it too. You need the tutti frutti, you have that. You have
You
the
have dry
pista,
fruit.
you have the dry
Okay,
fruit,
okay.
everything.
Okay.
हम सब करते हैं.
Okay. If your job title were a superhero name, which superhero?
That has actually been given to me already. I mean, I have these young designer friends who are from Vadodara, and they have this very cute son. And then I have another very good friend who has taken this picture of me. I mean, we were in Bangalore. He told me, Dada, thoda piche jao. I said, yeah. He's like, just open your feet and just do this and just do like a Hulk pose. So yeah, I mean, it would be Hulk.
Hulk, okay.
Yeah, so yeah, no, because why that Vadodara thing is,
but the
they
happy,
tell, they show that photo to the kid
Okay.
and tell him, jaldi khai le, nahi to agree
But I think the other way around is the happy Hulk, right? Not the angry Hulk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The angry, I don't know how many of people, I mean, my office girls and my how to say, my contractors or team guys or my wife definitely will tell you.
Yeah.
He's not what comes across
across.
generally. He's
Okay.
pretty short-fused and short-tempered
Okay.
as such. So yeah, that is
Um,
exactly why the Hulk. I mean,
कब green होगा
Okay.
कब green हो गया पता
Bruce
नहीं.
Banner to Hulk. Okay. Name one design trend that you wish should come back. Because we are in a phase where a lot of things are going away, right?
Things are going away. See, like I told you, design is always, it's never a constant. It is always a change.
Yeah.
If you go to see, already there are things that are going around, like the wheel I told you, it goes around and it comes around.
Like the terrazos is one
Terrazos.
thing.
Yeah, so there was a time where you and I probably grew up in houses where there were these
mosaic.
Small
10
terrazos.
inches by 10 inches terrazzo tiles and your cast in situ is what
Yeah,
it used to be called.
yeah.
Terrazzo is a new word for it. The similar thing happens even in fashion industry.
Yeah.
There was a time there you used to have a jeans, probably your mom in her college days used to be called pedal pushers,
Yeah.
which are now known as capri pants.
Yeah.
Right.
Or like any of these girls will identify, you now have cap sleeves,
Mm.
okay,
Right.
which are not a full, not a half.
Yeah.
They called cap sleeves, but earlier used to be called in the days of the mother or the sister used to be called as megia
Megia
sleeves.
sleeves. Yeah.
Bell bottoms came back as flare
I
pants.
know. Yeah.
Right.
Classical designs or moldings.
Or back.
You earlier used to term them as cornices and moldings. Today you're calling them wainscoting and stuff like that.
Mm.
So it's basically the same wine in new bottles or
bottles.
new packaging. So the trends come in, they go out. On an average, this is my understanding. Any trend, style which stays, or even product for that matter,
Yes.
it will stay in for a span of about 2 to 3 years. And then it will phase out or die its own death kind of a thing.
So one thing that you feel is not there and it needs to come back. I think it's been over 10 years, 20 years that it's not come back. What is that you feel that it should come back?
There's no particular thing that needs to come back, is only that the engineering, like again, less is more was always there. Okay. The whole logic of the new things which are now coming up is parametrics and all.
Okay.
Now, parametrics is still being used in buildings outside
Okay.
and very little or very less in interiors inside.
Mm.
So, yeah, I wouldn't mind parametrics. It's not that it's gone out, it is there. Or tessellation, if transformation or triangulation
Right.
of changing something, very origami or something. So it's never gone out and it is never, it has been there, but it needs to come in line.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
The weirdest source of inspiration you have drawn from for a project or for a particular thing.
Weirdest source of inspiration. I mean, it can be anything.
One thing that you think of.
One thing that I can think of is, I mean, a lot of stuff that is lying around on the site,
Okay.
which is so-called like a waste.
Right.
Because I feel that is a criminal waste of material.
Okay.
And just to throw it, I mean, it's going to be on the face of this earth forever. So rather, I do get a lot of inspiration or things. अरे ये ply का टुकड़ा ऐसा shape है,
Okay.
देख तो दूसरा भी कौन सा shape है, and then you just put it up on a wall and becomes like a nice paneling design by itself with all that waste that you have.
Okay.
Nice.
And you can achieve something from that also. So yeah, that has been there. We've actually stumbled upon something which is from that waste itself.
Interesting. Okay. If your designs were a season, which season it would be?
Spring.
Okay. I think spring is the most thing that
Everyone
everyone is spring.
Yeah,
I think.
because see, ultimately,
there's something with spring in designers, to be very honest. I
no,
think.
this is exactly where, what is spring all about?
It's not everything.
It is the growth, the new
one.
the freshness, the coming about of things. So that's exactly why you'll get the same answer from everybody.
Okay. If your designs were a cocktail.
If my designs, so they pretty much are. Yeah. Tell me.
What would the key ingredients be of your cocktail?
Key ingredients: good detailing,
Okay.
best quality of materials,
Okay.
Okay.
but not necessarily at a heavy price.
All right.
Right.
Okay, and God lies in details, like I said, detailing, and good finishing and craftsmanship, because
Okay.
that is exactly what will get you your next project.
Agreed. If your designs were a travel destination,
Mhm.
where would they take us?
Designs were a travel destination. Any part of Europe.
Yeah.
I'm very sure of that.
Anything that you like in Europe is like one place के मैं जाऊंगा ना तो यहाँ पे मैं सुकून से बैठ सकता हूँ. And then do you have something
Yeah,
like that?
I have. I mean, the only problem in your question is you said one place. I have a couple of these places
Please.
where all
Please.
my friends know if we don't find Girish anywhere,
There.
we'll find him there.
Where?
So it can be probably in Lucerne in Switzerland
Okay.
or in a very small town near, in between actually Lisbon and Porto,
Okay.
which is called Fatima
Okay.
in Portugal. You'll probably find me somewhere there. Or in, if it is Lisbon, in Cascais. If it is, outskirts of Portugal, in a place called Nazare. Because that's basically the same Nazare that we keep talking about.
Yeah.
It's only that they call it Nazare. So, yeah, very, very scenic, by the beach always.
Yeah.
My ultimate passion or dream or goal is to own an island of my own. A lot of my friends know that.
Yeah.
They think I'm crazy.
What will you call the island?
Lamhe.
Nice. You've thought about it.
Oh, yes,
huh?
of course.
Nice.
Because life is all about the moments and the memories and the lamhes.
Interesting. Okay. Now this is something that's been constant, but let's see if you break it. If your designs were a board game, which one would they be?
Board game.
Yeah.
My designs were a board. Monopoly.
Okay.
I don't think you got
No.
those.
No.
You must have got Carom. You must have got.
No, we got Ludo and
Ludo,
chess.
most
to
important.
use,
Ludo and
that's
chess.
it. Yeah.
No, Monopoly, man. Boli lagao. Trafalgar Square goes for $800. As simple as that.
Okay. Describe your ideal workspace in 3 words.
Well, actually, if you ask me, like I always say, God is kind. That is an ideal workspace that we have. We have a half open terrace.
Okay. So you need to have an open space.
Open space. I mean,
Okay,
you have
one.
to, you cannot just be cooped up in a room and keep working.
Right.
It has to be more airy, more open,
Okay.
more set back, because that is when your creativity will come out.
Okay.
Like my girls are spoiled to the T, if you ask me. I have other friends who tell me, don't spoil them. Our staff is asking for a similar thing. They have the best coffee stations. You guys want to come and enjoy coffees from the world, please.
Okay.
They have a whole coffee station. They have a mini fridge which is stacked with not what you're thinking of. All your juices, shakes and,
Okay.
chas or whatever you want to call it. So they have all of that, and it basically has to be something. There has to be music, of course.
Okay.
So we have music in my cabin as well as for them outside, and they can choose to listen to whatever.
Open
Basically,
space.
work should not be a 9 to 5 kind of a.
I
Stereotype.
agree.
And again, we are designers. 2 and 2 is never 4 for us. So it can be 3.5, it can be 6.5 also. So, which is okay.
Okay, so 3 things would be open space. Music
open
and
space,
coffee.
music, and airy and.
Okay, all right. If you could redesign a famous landmark.
If I could redesign a famous landmark,
Yeah.
I think I wouldn't do that because that is a landmark
Yeah.
and somebody has done it and has done it right.
Okay.
And it would be wrong on my part
Okay.
to try and say, મને બધું આવડે છે, હું MBA છું. I will do it.
If you were to design a famous landmark, which one would it be and why?
Yeah. If I was to design one,
Yeah.
I would probably go for what Santiago Calatrava has done as the Oculus
Okay.
in New York
Okay.
as a memorial. So
Okay.
it would be a memorial. And why that particular one is, there's a reason, because the 2 towers that went down that day,
Right.
World Trade Towers,
Yeah.
guess the date it went down on? 9/11.
9/11. Yeah.
That's my birthday.
Okay.
So yeah, so
All
imagine, I mean, you're all in the mood to go for a party and then something like that you see on the TV.
Yeah.
Your entire thing. And I mean, that day, a lot of people lost too many things.
Too many things.
So yeah, that would be a good one.
Okay. Now the last question is: if your designs were a musical instrument, what would they be, and what kind of music would they produce?
My designs were a musical instrument.
Yeah.
Always a Two choices I can give you because I like percussions myself.
Okay.
Some kind of a drum set.
Okay.
Could be a Japanese big drum.
Okay.
Could be a normal drum set.
Mm-hmm.
Something what Shivamani would play on.
Okay.
That is what I mean. I really love his work and very
Okay.
dear and keep listening to a lot of that.
Okay.
Or a synthesizer because anything and everything is doable. You can play a Mozart on it also,
Yeah.
Okay.
and you can play rock on it as
Okay.
well. I mean, it can be Pink Floyd to Mozart, anything.
Anything.
I'll add one more question here. I think that then it will be the last question. Are you a spiritual person?
Very much.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very much, because you have to understand the fact that there is a greater or a higher power which is moving things around, and you have been placed in this lifetime to do your part.
Yeah.
And while doing your part, I mean, see to it that you can make it a better place for anybody and everybody.
And what do you do spiritually? I mean, you meditate or what?
नहीं मतलब वो meditate करने वाला इंसान तो नहीं हूँ. There is a
Because now I was
whole
thinking about the Gary and then you say you're spiritual.
no, Gary is for other than India. Yeah, spiritual as in, yeah, I do follow days, whatever, festivals, do a puja every day at home. There's a whole astrological side which a lot of my friends know about.
Okay, what is that?
And, your timings, your calculations, your birth date, and what is happening with you. And it's not like predicting the future or whatever. It's just, I mean, things are meant to happen.
Okay.
And they will fall in place.
Right.
So, I mean, something like that.
Okay. Because I think Varun sir is someone who's into.
I'm more towards spiritual,
Yeah.
but that's some part of the day.
Yeah.
In the morning.
I think
No,
he's-
spiritual, see, any person and every person, the guy who says I'm a Nastic also,
Is somewhere.
is
he's
somewhere
believing
spiritual.
in something, right? That
He is
nothing
believing, no, and he knows that he is not to believe in the
Yeah,
spiritual
yeah,
part
yeah,
of it. So, which means that
He is
knowingly
somewhere
or
knowing-
unknowingly, he is accepting the
accepting
fact
it. Yes.
that
No,
there is
I'm a
there
firm
is-
believer of energies. This is what I believe.
exactly,
in.
aura
Because I think-
and energy.
Correct.
Now, that is
I
also.
tend to gel with people who have the same energy, and I
Energy,
can
same
just
vibes.
sense
Oh,
it. that the
I
energy
have
nahi jamegi.
so many of these people. I mean, there's this senior architect, Deepak Bhai, who's there, and he will meet me and he'll, go and he'll hold my hand like this and he'll start doing. I said, Deepak Bhai, શું કરો છો? He'll like, वो energy ખેંચું છું. તારામાં એટલી energy છે. I'm pulling that energy. I'm transferring it all to me. But it's always fun to meet you and there's so much energy and liveliness and positiveness.
Yeah.
I said, अपना तो blood group ही be positive. So it's simple as that, And that's about it.
All right, Varun sir, you want to ask him about the store and then.
So I cannot afford to say anything bad about the store because
No, but you can still take a
knowing that
chance.
it's been designed by my friend, I don't want to get whacked tonight itself. So
But
no,
you can
it
still
is
take a chance.
what is nice about it, as I will tell you, is what I'm rather grateful to Luxe Surfaces is that you came up with a particular store where you can touch, feel, experience,
Right.
and understand the grandeur and the mammoth size of these tiles or surfaces that are there.
Right.
Because generally what happens is if you go down to, let's say, any store, we have now these areas, let's say Raghuvanshi or Lakshmi
No,
and all.
Lakshmi
So
is one.
these store guys will have probably one tile put up over there.
And then the small.
And then they show you catalog. मतलब भाई फोटो में
Photo
मैं
में
भी
मैं भी
शाहरुख
देख
खान से
सकता
अच्छा दिखता हूँ. असली देखो तो मालूम पड़ेगा it's how bad.
Right.
So similarly, once you have it there, then you gauge it. Now,
Right.
trust me, it has been 2 or 3 times when this Lucille or whatever you want to call it.
Luxe gold.
Luche gold. Sorry, इतना English नहीं आता है. बहुत गरीब आदमी है. So this Luche gold, I give it a challenge. Ask any 3D renderer guy
Right.
who might even charge you 1 lakh per render.
Right.
He cannot give you this
No.
effect in a 3D or in a photograph, be
Right.
it even a cinematographer, a photographer, whoever, till you don't come and
And see the-
experience that whole wave like a fabric
Family.
in a flat tile, you'll not be able to do
Right.
it. So no image, nothing can justify it than actually coming and seeing it. And then
Correct.
again, the way you have the mock-ups done up,
Right.
that actually helps us
Yeah.
to tell a
Yes.
client, बोले ऐसा होगा, अरे ये गिरीश भाई देखो इधर टर्न हुआ,
Right.
then क्या होगा?
ये
देखो
देखिए
इन्होंने यहाँ टर्न किया, कोई दिक्कत
कुछ
नहीं,
नहीं
नो प्रॉब्लम. I mean, how you guys have used profiles at
Profiles.
the edges and corners and all,
Right.
and I mean so on and so forth. You have laser cuttings done in the similar
Right,
tiles
exactly.
to create patterns. So it becomes
You have the
easier
biggest
for
display
us.
of Versace also. That's
Yeah,
right.
I mean, of course, yes. For the people who have
Since
the
I've
liking
met
Versace
you,
for
I
Versace.
think this is what I want to do. Since I've met you, I gave this story to everyone. That is, you call Varsha aunty.
No, because that also is actually I'll
So
tell you how.
Medusa is not Medusa. He's the guy. Yeah, the
Yeah,
entire
yeah.
team knows you already.
Well, shit, they already know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, man. So, I'll tell you where this happened from. So, we were doing this house for somebody in Santa Cruz. And this lady would tell me, we would show her some renders or designs. So, मेरे को ये नहीं चाहिए, मेरे को वर्षा आंटी वाला चाहिए. We kept struggling. Varsha aunty, Varsha aunty. Who is Varsha aunty? आपकी कोई cousin है? बोले नहीं वो उसमें ऐसा साड़ी बॉर्डर जैसा नीचे बॉर्डर आता है और वो आंटी का फेस रहता है उसमें. And then one of my girls in the team, she came to me and said, "Sir, Versace तो नहीं बोल रहा." And we just opened up Versace and she's like, हाँ, यही तो बनता है Varsha aunty. So that is how Varsha aunty came by because. Okay, I mean, a layman, and they don't know Versace, so it is Varsha aunty. I mean, big deal, yeah. And trust me, I mean, had Varun been there earlier, life would have been easier because I'm talking about this about 10 to 12
10
years
years
back, where you didn't have Varsha aunty in India. Okay, so you know what we did for her bedroom? We took extra clear glass, we etched the border
Versace.
Yeah.
from the back side,
The Greek-Asian.
and then the Greek border
Greca, yeah.
and the whole Medusa
Right,
image,
face
and we got that etched on glass, and then we did gold leafing inside it.
Okay.
I mean, Sindhi clients meant gold to दिखना
देना ही
चाहिए.
चाहिए बनता
बराबर है. So we did the gold silver leafing or whatever gold leafing inside, and then we back painted it white, and then she has it in her bed and
Nice.
everywhere
Done,
in
work
her
Hmm.
room.
Nice.
So ठीक है, मजबूरी का नाम महात्मा गांधी. You have to invent new things, and that is how
Yeah, you-
inventions come in. I mean, if Mohammed cannot come to the well will go to the Mohammed. So he got it late. His mistake.
I'm at the
Had he got it earlier, he would have made more money. The Marwadi logic है भाई.
Marwadi वैसे-
बराबर है कि नहीं?
Nice. Last question is, how was your experience over KYAD, the podcast that you've come to? I think this-
Very nice, very relaxed. I mean, does not feel like a podcast. I mean, not that any strange person was doing it. I mean, I know you
Yeah.
for what about a good 8-10 years now.
Right.
So do I know Varun also.
Yeah.
It was more like a coffee break at home.
Yeah.
Nothing beyond that.
So the whole idea of the thing is that we want to keep it very casual because the industry that you're in, everything is
But I
scripted,
have
you know.
casual written
Yeah.
all over. So I have this thing in the industry which goes by as चांद से भी दो ही चीज
मैं
दिखता
आपको
है.
पहले सीजन से फॉलो कर रहा हूँ. I'm calling you and you are someone.
Happens,
जैद मेरे को टिकट आ गया है. मेरे को दुबई जाने का है कल.
तो वो हमारा वही है, डॉन को पकड़ना मुश्किल है, नामुमकिन है. बराबर है. तो चांद से भी दो ही चीजें दिखती है, ग्रेट वॉल ऑफ चाइना और गिरीश भाई.
No, so for him, sir, he's got an open visa, okay? And for him, everyone knows that he can travel.
Okay.
So he will get. How do you
Oh,
get called?
trust me, I sleep the best in a flight.
Is it?
To
most
the
surprising-
extent, my wife was actually, she thought I had lost it because in between I have this best friend who is head for Qatar aircraft maintenance.
Okay.
I actually told him I need the business class seat with the whole recliner that comes into a bed for my bedroom, and my wife actually thought I have lost it.
Yeah, actually, anyone would.
Yeah, because अरे trust me, वो जैसे ही runway पे शुरू होता है, before
वैसे-
take off I'm off.
Actually.
That's the best sleep I ever get. And that is exactly why. That's one of the points why I love to travel.
So he gets
Yes,
a
sir.
call. He's like, ठीक है, कल
उसका एक
ticket
और
भेज रहा हूँ
एक
मैं
और
तुझे."
एक और point जो तूने बोला था, it's a very good interesting thing, can make a very nice thing.
Yeah.
So I have this belief that on Krypton everybody is Superman,
Yeah.
but on Earth only Superman is Superman. तो
Agree.
इसके लिए मैं कहीं पे भी जाता हूँ, कहीं पे भी काम करता हूँ, तो उधर और कोई है ही नहीं, है कि नहीं? यहाँ मुंबई में सब लोग हैं.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I've gone and worked in Durgapur, which is West Bengal,
Some
interiors.
Okay.
Where all? I mean, people are now going to China to source material and all. I went in 2001.
When then China was not
China
there.
was crazy.
Yeah,
I mean,
there-
you would
there
get
were
you would
factories.
get water which would look like alum water, and you had to drink it. You didn't have a choice.
Choice.
And, I mean, hello, thank you, and one or two words were the only
Only
words
words.
you would they would
Nothing to
understand.
eat, nothing.
Shay.
Everything.
Yeah, shisha, whatever. Thank you. So that is how then you pick up the
Pick
languages
words.
and you go on and go forth.
Cool. I think that's it from us. Then. Thank you so
Thank
much
you. I
for
hope
coming
it was
over.
a
It was
good,
pleasure.
Thanks a lot.
The hamper is yours.
Arre,
Today you're giving this.
Yeah, please, sir.
Thanks a lot, sir.
thank you. Thank you
Thanks
so
for
much.
being there, sir.
My pleasure.
It was
my
a pleasure
pleasure.
hosting.
Pleasure. Thank you
My
so much, sir.
pleasure.
Thank you.
Anytime.
Thank you.
Anything
Thank
for you guys.
That's it. Thank you.
Thank
sir.
you.